Good morning, Starshine.
Welcome to the real world. Whoa!
Mortgage your house and buy Bitcoin with
Breathe air.
There's no second best, okay?
GM. Trade of the day. So, today's Monday, and Mondays are not ideal for trading. Because basically, the thing is, the reason why Mondays are unreliable and you just don't want to trade too early in the week is just simply this, right? The weekly candle has not formed yet. There isn't an upper wick or a lower wick. There's not much movement. But it's mostly this. You don't want to trade in balance. The only opportunity comes in markets when they're at extremes, right? If it's markets extremely overbought, extremely oversold, you want to take a trade. Where you don't want to trade is there. Don't trade here, don't trade here, don't trade here. Where you want to trade is here, at the extremes, right? Why? Because the only edge you're going to have in a market is to be in an area where one side or the other can be wrong and the market can carry you to your destination. You cannot move the market. I am not moving the market. Nobody, especially on Bitcoin, nobody can move the market, really. Some people can push it around for a bit if you want to fucking throw a few $1 billion at it, but outside of that, on a normal day or week, nobody moves it, right? So, don't enter in areas in which it's going to take a lot of effort to move. That's why when price is in balance like this, you don't want to touch it. That's also why when it moves really fast down or really fast up, it actually does offer opportunities. You go to extremes. And we've had a few good opportunities over the past couple of weeks in there. That's also what happens with the data, CPI and all those kind of days that we trade. That's because the market can move rapidly in a short space of time to an extreme, to an overbought or oversold condition, and you can trade it that way. Now, what does that mean for right now? The weekly open is here, the dashed or dotted grey line, right, which is now red. That's the weekly open. It is not far enough away from the weekly open to make a trade. Simple. If we go as far as here, that inefficiency, and I don't really see one above, so you get that, and you've got stops resting here. There is one place to take a trade. So I would be looking at that. If it goes up, short, back to there. Or takes out the highs, short, back to there. Right. Obviously, when it gets to the area, if it gets to the area, if it gives you a setup, right, you have to see, a valid setup. You don't just blindly short. Same on the downside. There's not a whole lot, actually, of inefficiency on the downside. This was the main one, and we filled it in, right? That was the one from the weekend. We filled it in. So I'd be much more hesitant looking at this because I would expect maybe if it dips down into there, it's actually probably going to hold. I think we're going to go up first. Maybe we sweep lower, but I don't know. It seems like going lower here is a trap. If we go lower first, I would guess if we go lower, it's going to grind lower, but then squeeze, and you'll see these levels getting hit. So I'd be cautious about following in or chasing into shorts, because really all you have on the downside here are some liquidity levels, right? You'll have some stops resting there and there and there, but otherwise, it's actually pretty well cleaned up on the downside in terms of retesting previous breakouts. And then the next inefficiency we have is all the way down here. That next retest happens all the way over there. So if we start to lose this level, 55 becomes a possible, but I probably would like to see it go up first. So if we get to an extreme, I'll take a trade. If I see just, that's not even it, just some kind of setup, whether it's there or below, same thing, or below, same thing. Be waiting for that. Maybe won't form today. If it does, get a trade. If not, patience. And that's it. GM. Don't trade around the weekly open. You're literally at the most balanced part. Wait for it to get imbalanced, wait for inefficiency to form, trade back towards it. GM.